Hello everyone, this is Lincoln, the channel for Higher Self. Welcome to the Satsang with the Self. In these videos, I teach from a higher self state of channeled consciousness. I expand my own personal self and I begin to perceive the multidimensional nature of our own reality. My mind's eye opens up, my experience of energy expands, and I have access to information that's beyond my human state of knowing. We are all eternal states of consciousness, and through the application of specific sets of instructions and knowledge, we can learn how to directly experience this eternal state. In these videos, I offer you a perspective that's uniquely different from our human one. I hope that all the information shared expands your own understanding and also gives you additional support on your soul's journey of awakening. For this teaching, I'm going to bring through information based upon a topic presented by one of my students. I'll start by reading what they sent, and then I'll begin the channeling. This person has asked, so far, my most intense bliss is all in my dream state. Some lucid, some not, and they are like intense electricity that flows through my body. What is the highest bliss that a human can experience, and how to achieve it? Is the reason we have a physical body to have bliss? Why is there so much effort and pain just to maintain a physical body? Thanks for your support. So while I channel the higher self for you, simply be open to the information and also open to any non-physical experiences that may arise. While you listen to me and participate with this channeling, you're also increasing your own higher self connection. I hope you enjoy this experience on all the levels that it is given to you. Okay, I'll now begin. Dear one, close your eyes. Feel your spiritual heart. Be at peace. You are God. You are an eternal experience. Feel your heart. Feel the space surrounding your physical body. Feel your awareness expanding into this space. Feel the strength of your heart growing. Feel yourself shining. Feel the love and the light shining. How much love, dear ones, can you add to this experience of living? How much happiness, how full of an embrace can you give to the present moment? That is your bliss. From your heart shines your original expression of creative power. And your mind stands between your soul's love and the forms of this world. The beliefs that you have allow the heart energy to shine or reduce the heart energy from expressing. How powerfully you feel your soul's love is based upon the understanding that you hold. Let us together expand this bliss and open our mind to a greater understanding of life. Feel your heart and feel the space surrounding your body. Feel the space expanding. Feel the space opening. Feel more space, more emptiness, a larger container for you. Feel yourself expanded into this world, embracing the space of life. This is an open invitation. This is your reality. This is your dream. Feel it opening up to you, ready to receive you. Feel your heart. This is your center. This is your love, your gift of life. Feel your heart, this radiant power. Feel your love of living. Feel your joy of being here. Feel God's love pouring through you. Feel your heart and feel the space. Feel yourself filling this dream of life with your love, with your gratitude, with your celebration. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. You are shining your heart. You are expressing yourself into this universe, into God's creation. Feel your love shining. Feel your love for life shining. You are love. You are pure life energy. Feel your heart. Feel your radiance. Feel your loving gift of expression. In every moment you shine. In every moment your heart is blissful. You are the gift of life. You are loved. You are sacred. Open yourself to this world. Open your heart to the present moment and feel the love of yourself growing. I am love. I love my life. I love this sacred experience. Feel your heart open into the space. Feel yourself shining like the light of the sun, blessing everything with your presence. You are love. Notice how you feel right now. Expressing through your mind the understanding of gratitude awakens your heart. Feeling the space allows for the expansion. You feel the world, the universe, God's creation open to you, inviting you to fill it. This is your life. This is your soul's dream. Feel yourself open. Feel your heart open. Practice this. Every day, practice using the power of your mind to create this experience of unity. When you notice the space and you honor the space, you embrace the divine feminine quality of your present moment. The feminine is the emptiness, the fertile void into which life will grow. It is the cosmic womb that holds creation. The space nurtures the form. The invisible energy within the space nurtures the forms that fill it. Just like the womb of the mother, the space of creation holds everything within itself. Notice your heart. This is your creative energy, your spark of life. This is the divine masculine principle in relation to this divine feminine. This is the energy of life that wants to express into the space and fill the space. Your heart gives itself into the space and changes the forms of life. The love of your heart creates the forms, putting them into the space. When you feel your heart, you energize this world. Your heart's energy creates your thoughts. It creates your emotions. Your heart energy is the energy creating your physical body. As you take your awareness deeper into your heart, you will understand, because you will perceive that all the forms originate from your heart's light. It may be challenging to perceive this connection when all the forms appear separate, but the stronger your heart grows, the more you realize that this is the power creating them. For some of you, you struggle to control your mind's thoughts. Feel your heart, because this is the energy creating your mind. And as you bring your consciousness into your heart, control of the mind is given to you. How many times have you tried to control your thoughts by focusing on your thoughts? And how unsuccessful has this been? It's because you're not understanding the pathway through which thoughts appear. The energy of the thought arises from the center of the chest. Live in the center of the chest, and now you guide the energy of thought. Usually it is our memory-based conditioning, and the memories hold in the lower part of our body, the torso of our body, that controls and guides the heart's energy that becomes the thoughts. But when we put our consciousness in our heart, now we hold this energy. In a nearly effortless way, the thoughts become silent, and you can choose to use the human mind consciously. All that we teach you is very precise. Our words may be simple, our explanations may be simple, but the significance is great. So you asked us, dear one, about bliss. The original energy of your heart is the bliss. And the more this divine masculine part of you shines and fills the divine feminine part of you, the more your heart energy fills the space of your awareness, the more bliss your reality has. This is the deepest expression of divine masculine and divine feminine principles. Any part of life can be divided into these polarities. Some call it positive and negative, masculine and feminine, north and south. It doesn't matter the names. They're two compatible areas of co-creation that require each other to exist. And at the deepest level, it's form and formless. And so the energy of your consciousness, your desire to exist, your desire to create, that's the deepest expression of energy. And the desire to receive your creation, that's the deepest desire of space. The form wants to express, the formless wants to receive. So we feel the space and we feel our heart expressing ourselves as creative power. And that completes this marriage. That creates this samadhi, this union. We're not channeling emotion. We're channeling our desire to create, our desire to exist, our desire to experience life. That's the feeling of love in the heart. There are lesser forms of love and lesser forms of happiness. We desire an object and we believe we're happy when we have the object. That's a lesser form. It's still a quality of happiness, it's still a desire to live, but it's based upon living with one isolated object. It's a small experience. And when we're having this desire for this individual object to be in our perception, we're also defining ourselves as a small object. I'm the human body, I'm the human personality, and I want this human object. And if I have this together, if I see myself as a human body and the physical object with me, then I experience the happiness created between the two. And that happiness, of course, is my mind's creation, but I put it between these two isolated forms. It's a little happiness. It's still happiness, and it's still wonderful that people achieve it, but it's not the same as bliss. The only true state of bliss is the union of your consciousness with that which you are experiencing. It's the union of form and formless that appears inside of yourself as the experience of living. Your desire to give all of yourself to your life, feeling it as the present moment, that is the bliss. And it feels complete, like nothing is missing, because when you embrace your life, everything is included. So how do you achieve this state? You have to remove, dear one, all of the ideas of separation. And for every idea of separation that is removed, more bliss is received. You don't have to wait to cleanse your mind to get the bliss. Every piece that is cleansed and raised into wisdom rewards you with more bliss. So the mind-deal one, it has a concept that I'm a little human being, and these are little parts of my life that I desire to experience. And so we take that big state of bliss and we close it down right away because we believe that we are human. We stop embracing the present moment as eternal life. And we close ourselves down to a temporary human form. So right then and there, with that state of identification, we've already limited our bliss in a very strong way. What can help you is remembering that you are the consciousness. So feel yourself as open space. Feel your heart. Feel yourself expanded. Remember who you are. You are love. You are radiant light. In one simple step, by remembering who you are as consciousness, you can return to a greater state of bliss. Now, still appearing inside of your human mind may be other concepts of limitation. Any beliefs you have, when they appear in your mind, they start to restructure this original creative energy, and they change the energy into smaller pieces of vibration. You can think of your human mind like a glass prism. A glass prism is like a crystal, and you shine a ray of light through this glass prism, and the glass divides the original light into the colors of the rainbow. That's like what your mind does. So you can think of this perfect white beam of light shining into this prism of glass, and the glass prism now creates a rainbow and throws a rainbow into the air. Now the rainbow appears as all the colors. The glass prism took that original, complete, unified energy. It was feeling all the frequencies. The white light was feeling all the emotions. It was holding all the ideas together as one single unified, connected experience. The light of your heart before it enters the human mind is that perfect white light energy. And so it contains every possible understanding and every possible emotion. And when the human mind appears, it exists as glass, as a clear state, a clear, empty mind that's not yet moving, does not change the light. You can be in this world, and if your mind is not holding on to an idea, you will feel the bliss of the original light. You will have the original state of mind. But as soon as that clear mind starts to shape itself, then the prism appears. The glass becomes a shape. It becomes a prism. And now the glass changes the original white light and begins to cast the colors. So once you feel like a human being, you've already changed that spiritual light. Even the feeling of being human is altering the pure original energy. And it's casting an understanding of being human. And it's casting emotional feeling of my human self. Even just being a human feels like a human personality. And everyone's personality feels different, which means it's a coloration of the original pure light. And then when the human mind moves in a specific idea, then the glass becomes even more shaped, more defined. And so now it casts a more specific color and a more specific emotion. So when the mind is open and quiet, but we still feel human, we might cast a whole rainbow. Not all the colors are in it, of course, because every human being feels different as a human personality. Even just observing life, we feel different. So we have the rainbow when we're just witnessing life from the human perspective. But as soon as we have a specific thought, we create a specific color, we create a specific expression, and it feels like emotion. We have a specific understanding, a narrowed focus, and that then comes into our perception. Now we've isolated one color, a very specific hue of one color, because we focused on a very specific idea out of the infinite possible ideas. That's how your mind works. Your soul is expressing the original creative energy of life and its pure bliss. And when you come into this human reality, you've already shaped the light. And it may appear like a rainbow. You might be open-minded, very loving and embracing, but you still feel human. That's okay. You're feeling a lot of the rainbow. And then as you focus on specific ideas, desires, thoughts, impressions, connections, associations, interpretations, anything your mind does to respond to your experience, that's like narrowing down the rainbow into a very specific color. And your mind might jump from one color to a different color to a different color as your mind jumps from this thought to that thought to this thought. The original energy you are shaping with your mind. So how do you experience the bliss? You have to get to the original mind, which means you have to build an understanding that allows your mind to open. And an open mind feels like you're embracing everything, just as it is. And the most open mind understands the unity of the human self and the environment. We can expand that human personality into a more universal personality by realizing I am one with everything I perceive. Then more of the white light shines through and less of the rainbow is here. Because the human self is dissolving into a universal self. Even though we're still perceiving the physical world, our understanding is more universal. So the bliss is fuller. So we feel our heart, we feel the space. We feel our love for life, our love for existing. And we begin to observe the original mind appearing. The understanding that's open to everything, accepting of everything, embracing of every moment and all that appears within it. And when you feel your heart and you feel the space, you begin to forget your personal self. And you feel like a radiant perceptual state of awareness. You feel like you're shining like the sun. And your human story is gone. All thought is gone. And you're just here, loving the experience of existing. You're in a bliss state. And you can stay here as long as you wish if you stay in the original mind. And if you continue to go into the energy, you will feel less and less human and more as a shining state of pure divine energy. And eventually your perception of the physical world will vanish, and all you will perceive is a universe made of that one light filling that one space. And there's no separation. It's true unity, as male and female are together as one. And you are that one state. You're perceiving it within your awareness. You've taken the universe back to its origin, and you're perceiving it inside of your consciousness, because you have the original understanding. So you're creating the original experience in your awareness, because you are God, the Creator. Some would call this enlightenment. This is what we call enlightenment. So while you're living your life, be aware of how every idea, whether it appears as a thought or just a felt knowing, every idea is altering the original energy. The more you understand everything to be oneself, the less the mind alters the original energy. The more you silence your mind, the more you experience that unity. Now, some people try to silence their mind by using personal effort, but the most they can do is just hold on to a rainbow. The more they feel like a person, the more they create a narrowed rainbow. They can use their effort and they can focus strong. They can be disciplined. They can feel like they're in control, but they will never feel the bliss because they do not surrender themselves into the wholeness of the present moment. Instead, they control the present moment. So it's a false experience of enlightenment. And they often believe that the silent mind is the goal. And as long as I hold my awareness focused, then I'm silencing my mind and I'm enlightened. But as you know, dear one, according to our explanation, they haven't even left the human experience. They're not even close to experiencing true enlightenment because they're still holding on to the individual colors. They're still using their mind to hold on to an idea that I'm doing it, I'm controlling it, I'm a human stopping my thoughts. The same is true for other spiritual practices. I had a vision of Krishna, I had a vision of Jesus. I saw this heavenly kingdom, I saw this sacred garden. These can be beautiful experiences, but again, they're only pieces of the rainbow. Because you still feel like a separate human, whether it's a dream or in a vision, an astral plane, or in the world. You still feel like a separate self, and your happiness is focused on a separate object you're perceiving. So if I see myself as a human-like being inside of this dreaming vision, and I see myself in a sacred garden, I can be very, very happy, but it's still within the range of human emotion. It's not enlightenment. It's not this spiritual unity experience that we just described. We're happy for human beings that grow beyond the limitations of thought and experience astral dimensions and heavenly visitations and the visitation of great beings of light. We're very happy for all of you, and these are all beautiful colors inside the rainbow. Go beyond it. Realize everything is the rainbow. You can feel more bliss within yourself than you do when you meet a divine being or when you go to a sacred location. Individual happiness based upon an individual location or form we're perceiving is going to be limited, simply by the definition that it is limited forms perceiving it and a limited human understanding at work. People might argue with us and say, no, you don't understand. That was the greatest experience. And we say, we're happy for you. We're happy that it was the greatest experience you've had so far. And we're telling you there is more. There are greater experiences. You are God. You are greater than all of these beings that you perceive, because you are God. And when you go to your source, you will understand what our words are saying. So for those of you who have bliss in your dreams and bliss in your meditations, realize there is so much more. As you dissolve the limited understanding, there's more room for the bliss to grow. As you expand beyond the human body and take up the space of your awareness, there's more room for bliss to fill. And when you know all the forms to be God's energy, you're no longer focused on separate colors, on separate experiences. Now you're embracing all of your experience. Everything is God. Now you have the understanding that allows you to perceive the original white light. It can be tempting to worship beings that appear great and magnificent. It can be tempting to return to these dreamlike places for solitude and healing. There is a lot of benefit when you are associating yourself with anything of a higher vibration. And we're telling you there is even higher experience awaiting you. But you have to embrace an understanding of unity. And we've guided you how we recommend you perform that. So in your reality, dear one, your mind is thinking thoughts of limitation. And when you open your mind to loving thoughts, you will feel more happiness. You will feel more connection. So be mindful of those very narrowing thoughts, the thoughts that focus on what you do not have, focus on what you do not like, because every time your mind creates one of those ideas, you restrict yourself to a very, very narrow range of color and a very weak vibration of color as well. A thought that, I hate life, it is a very dim, dim light. A thought that you love life is very bright. A bright light wakes you up. It makes you feel alive. A dim light, it makes you feel lifeless. It makes you feel dull, like you don't even exist. So when you're living your human life, try to associate your mind with higher knowledge. When your mind has these thoughts, complaining about something, focusing on what you don't want, focusing on the difficulties, going into the story of why life is horrible for me, why things are so challenging for me, why it's unfair for me. Whenever your mind goes into these places, just be wiser than your mind's patterns and interrupt it and stop the story. Don't even give it a time of day, because it's just an opinion. It's not the truth. It's just an opinion. And you can skillfully create another idea that's brighter in happiness and wider, embracing more of the unity, embracing the higher spiritual principles. And now you've immediately shifted your experience from a state of suffering to a state of happiness. Just by interrupting the thought because you know it's limiting, and replacing it with an understanding that's more expansive. Just by doing that, you've immediately changed your life for the better. And you've taken yourself further towards the enlightened experience. Don't be afraid to act like the master of your mind. At first, it can be intimidating. You're afraid to change your thoughts because what if you're wrong? Don't be afraid. You're going to learn as you go. It's okay. You're going to be wrong many times and you're going to be right many times. It's just a part of the journey. Don't be too proud. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Celebrate life. Every child failed to tie their shoelaces many times before they succeeded. And when they succeeded to tie their shoelaces, they celebrated and they kept growing beyond it. We're going to have struggle, but we shouldn't have fear. We shouldn't have fear of ourselves as being creators. So be more powerful than your mind and interrupt the patterns that you know are causing you suffering. They're not true. They're opinions. They're beliefs. They're interpretations. 2 people, in fact 100 people, they all witness the same experience, and every person has a different explanation of what happened. Why? Because we're all creators, and we have the freedom to express ourselves. And we can choose this interpretation, that interpretation, or 98 other interpretations. There's an infinite variety of ways that we can shape our understanding. So all that matters is the simple question, are we choosing the highest understanding in every present moment? That's what we should be asking ourselves, and we can use that question to guide our life. Am I choosing to live with compassion and confidence, with forgiveness and determination? Am I choosing to live with enthusiasm and joy and celebration and happiness? Am I choosing to live my life in the greatest wisdom I can find in any and every present moment? That should be our goal. Not, is this the right understanding? Too many people get caught in that way of thinking. They're looking for what's right, but what they're forgetting is it's all just opinions. The emotions are creations of ideas, and they're all based upon beliefs. What you believe about something should be chosen for the advantage that it gives you. Does it make me happier? Does it take me towards my goal? That's why we should choose the beliefs that we do. And if your beliefs are chosen wisely, they will be more accurate. They will help you to create a better life. The more you embrace everything, the greater your happiness. So be allowing of experiences. Be compassionate for human beings. Be understanding of your own weakness and other people's weakness, because we're all becoming greater creators together. Embrace your enthusiasm. Embrace your confidence. Take a chance. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. Celebrate your life. Don't hold back. When you allow the expression of yourself, you create new opportunities, and that invites learning and growth. Be powerful in your own reality by choosing your best experiences. So there you have it. The bliss is your original energy, and the strongest bliss is when you let that energy fill the space of your awareness. And the mind sits there controlling this process. When we live with wisdom, we allow more energy to expand into more space. When we understand ourselves to be consciousness, we can create a huge expansion. When we understand ourselves to be creators, we can create a huge power of love. Notice how your mind is shaping this energy throughout your daily journey, and can consciously reshape it by applying these thoughts of wisdom. Practice creating a silent mind, not through force and effort, not feeling more constricted, but by embracing the unity, by opening up to life, by celebrating and loving your life. You are God consciousness. You are a shining energy of love. Step into this. Be this. Be your divine self as fully as you can in your life. And then keep growing it. Namaste.